Are you guys ready for another vegan recipe that you won't even know that it's vegan, or you won't even care that it's vegan / plant-based if you're like me? But yes, we have got the traditional holiday green bean casserole, and it is all plant-based, baby, and you would never even know it. So let's get into it. You're gonna need a big old can of green beans, and you're also gonna need a big old can of French fried onions, the main staples in this, and also some veggie broth and some baby mushrooms. I use portobellos because I like them better, but you can use regular white button mushrooms. You're also gonna need some minced garlic. You can use it in a clove, but I'm lazy and I like to use it out of a jar. You're also gonna need some silk soy creamer and also some cayenne pepper, and then some traditional salt and pepper for, the traditional seasoning, and then a little bit of flour and a couple of slices of bread. I just had a big old beautiful loaf of sourdough, so that's what I'm using, but you can use whatever you'd like. So to start off, you're going to go ahead and preheat your oven to 425 degrees, and if you want all of this recipe and everything, I will have it written down below in the description because I know my words aren't too precise, but go ahead, heat up a big old pan and melt some, you can either melt some vegan butter in there or you can use just, a non-stick spray. I just like using butter because it adds good flavor and whatnot to it. But go ahead and add your mushrooms to that. You're going to want these to be a little bit chopped up. I had to chop some of them up even though they came pre-sliced, but you want them to be like bite-size-ish. They'll shrink down as they cook, but add to that the garlic. You use about 3 tablespoons of it, more or less depending on how much you like garlic, and then also add the cayenne pepper. I just do a couple little dashes because I am an absolute baby when it comes to spice, but so you can really add as much or as little as you want. It adds a fun little kick to this. And then also your salt and pepper. Like I said, exact measurements will be down below. I personally just eyeball salt and pepper, but like I said, I'll have the ingredients down below. But you're going to want to cook those to get your mushrooms nice and soft, and in a separate bowl you're going to combine the flour and vegetable broth. Just whisk that together. I use a fork. You could use an actual whisk, but I hate washing whisks, so I just use a fork. So go ahead, mix those up, and then you're going to dump that into the mushroom mixture once the mushrooms have gotten softened and cooked through, and then just stir that around, get it all distributed, get the flavors going, and you're going to want to simmer this until it starts to thicken. It's not an exact amount of time, but while that is cooking, you can go ahead and slice up your bread. You're using about a slice and a half. Mine were a bit thick. You're going to want to cut them a bit smaller than I did. It didn't matter, mine ended up fine, but I would personally recommend cutting the chunks a little bit smaller than I did. You're just going to want to be cubing up your bread, and that is going to get added into the mushroom mixture once it has thickened to about this point here. Oh, you guys, you don't understand. The smell is so good. But you're also, before you add the bread, going to add your creamer to the mix, and once you mix that around, you're gonna see, do you see, we basically made cream of mushroom soup, vegan, yes! And the bread, this was just a fun twist in the recipe along with the cayenne pepper. I was unsure of it at first, but it really does just soak up all of the nice flavors and whatnot in the casserole, and it just adds a nice texture to it. So I don't know that the bread is necessary, but I really liked it. So you're going to want to go ahead and bring that to a simmer again and allow that to simmer for about 10 minutes. It's going to be at this consistency after the 10 minutes, and then you are going to drain your big can of beans. You can use fresh beans as well. I just personally like canned beans in green bean casserole. It's just my preference, but go ahead, mix that together, and then put that into your square baking pan. You can kind of, I like to mush it in there. I don't suppose you have to. And now don't be a fool like me. Don't do this, you guys. I don't know what I was on, but don't add your mushroom or your French fried onions yet. Don't do it. Oh my gosh, just wait. You'll see. So I'm putting this in the oven, right? I don't know how I didn't catch this yet, but okay, turn your oven 15 minutes, and then it's the final countdown. It's gonna be burnt. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh my gosh. I told you guys. The minute I pulled it out, I was so mad at myself. So look I'm human, I make mistakes. Listen, I probably put on too much anyways, the French onions. So you can just take those off. Your cat will offer to help. Tell him, no, none for kitties. And then you can just sprinkle some not burnt ones on top. So, I would like to hope that, without filming, you guys would have never known that I burnt the top of my casserole, right? I mean, look at it. Just delicious. It really is one of those meals where if you brought this to your family dinner or whatever and didn't tell people that it was plant-based or vegan, they would never know. It tastes just as delicious. Like I said, the cayenne gives it a really nice kick, and I just really think you guys should give it a try if you are wanting to just try anything new in the plant-based vegan realm. So I hope you enjoyed the recipe. If you did, please do go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I hope you guys are all doing well, and until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!